to save RBS. So the Labour government of the time wanted to hire the best man or woman to run the bank in the best way to make sure we got our money back. But that was then. This is now. In recent days, politicians of all parties have been confronted again with the reality of what a competitive rate of pay actually means in the city, even in these dog days, and they haven't liked it. So the question is, therefore, who does run RBS?
They needed to show restraint in bonuses, and that is exactly what I said. I said that if he was going to get a bonus, it should be nothing like last year. That is the role of the shareholder. Then the role of the board, as the arm's length principle, is to look at the performance and reach a judgment. And then it is up to the individual whether they take the bonus.
Ed Miliband was having a good day, displaying some notable skill on the pool table. He has led a charge against a policy set up by his own government that has for once pushed all three political parties into a kind of alliance.
I think what you've seen in the last few days is the fact that the government has dragged its feet, has nodded this bonus through, and I think you've seen that they've got a completely tin ear when it comes to understanding what people are feeling.
So the question now is whether it would be easier to simply nationalise RBS.
Maybe we just have to take the view. This is a utility. We've just got to write off our £45 billion, run it like a public utility and have a couple of civil servants on board. But I'm not sure that's the right thing for the British taxpayer.
Nationalising the bank could work, of course. The only trouble is that if we sold our stake today, we'd realise a loss of some £20 billion. And no politician is very keen to admit that.
Well, it is really difficult to know what happens next because, frankly, there isn't much logical consistency as to what's happening now. Of course, one thing politicians could do is nationalise the bank. We already effectively own it, so by making it a government department, you would get rid of all this kerfuffle. You could put in people at civil servant rates of pay. You could concentrate on lending money to small and medium-sized businesses, effectively have a national investment bank. Now, why doesn't the government do that? Well, because it would have to fess up to us that it has effectively lost £45 billion of our money, and they just don't want to do that. So what they have all done in the past is to say, right, OK, let's have an independent commercial bank. Let's try and rebuild it so that we, all of us get our money back. To do that, we ought to put in, the best man or woman for the job at competitive rates of pay. But the trouble is, when the board comes back and says, right, we've got this person, they're doing a good job, here's the pay we're going to give them, politicians and, frankly, the public recoil in horror. So where does that leave RBS? Who is running it? Who is deciding pay? Is it the board or is it politicians? And if it is politicians, what is acceptable? £1 million as a bonus clearly isn't acceptable. Well, is £500,000? Is 300,000? Is 100,000? I think people in the city outside of RBS, as much as inside RBS, are confused. I think a lot of members of the public will be confused as well as to exactly what the policy is. So we're effectively, logically, I think the answer is you can either have nationalisation where you say, we own this, let's run it like a government department, and therefore let's get rid of all this problem of rates of pay we don't like, or you say it is independent, it really is a separate entity, it really needs to survive as a commercial entity. What is difficult is to have this middle ground where you kind of got half commerce, but politics is effectively overriding it. And it's difficult to see how much longer that can continue, and certainly the government is going to find life quite difficult if Mr. Hester walks out.